Mastering the circulatory system. Hi, I'm Hayley from Parallel Coaching, and in today's tutorial we're going to simplify the circulatory system. So we're going to understand how blood flows from the heart to the lungs and from the lungs to the heart and to the rest of the body before returning back to the heart again. So we're going to understand that circulatory system and how the flow occurs, but we're also going to understand this so easy that you can doodle it yourself and that you can go back and do it again and again and again, which means that you're going to be able to use this information. It will settle in your brain nice and easily, and you'll be able to use it in your exams. You'll be able to recall information about the blood flow much easier. Most people overcomplicate their learning for their revision, especially when it comes to learning the circulatory system, because it's complicated. There's a big process to follow. So instead they try and use all these different anatomical videos and things like that, which just cause more confusion. If you keep it so simple that you could basically use a set of crayons and you could show a 6-year-old, if it's that simple in terms of drawing, you can repeat it. If it's that simple that you repeat it more often, and then you're more likely to remember it. So bear with me on this, follow along and repeat certain sections to be able to help you. It's going to start with basically, I'm going to have 3 different colour pens. I've got a black pen that I'm going to use for the main features, and then we've got a blue and a red pen that we're going to be able to use for oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. But this is the first simpler part, and it starts with a real clear step. You've got a square in the middle of your page. That square is going to be divided into 4 sections. Those 4 sections represent the chambers of the heart. We've got 4 chambers in our heart. The first 2 are at the top. These are your atria. They collect the blood. The left atria is on the left side of your own heart, or of the person's heart. So as you look at it, it's on the opposite side to it will be on your right hand side as you look at it. So bear that in mind. But the left atria is on the left hand side of the heart. So imagine if you're a surgeon, it's the patient's left, not your left. So we're going to go left atria. Then we've got the right atria on the other side. And then you've got the left ventricles and the right ventricles that sit underneath. That's the first thing you need to know. Be able to label out the chambers of your heart immediately. So once you've got that, that's your first section. Go ahead and do that on your own bit of paper. Now we're going to add the lungs. Lungs you're going to draw above the heart. Doesn't have to be a brilliant diagram, just something that will show you it's the lungs. And then underneath, I've drawn a stick man. That's really important because you're going to need that to be able to show that the blood flow is going to or from the body with the brain and the muscles. So we've got lungs, heart and body. Then you're going to take your red pen, and I want you to draw a line from the lungs down to the left atria. I'm not even going to name these veins and arteries yet. I'm not going to name the blood vessels at all. We just want to get the blood flow correct. From the left atria, we're then going to show that goes down into the left ventricle. Notice how it always drops from the collecting chamber of the atria down to the ventricle every single time. Left ventricle then is going to pump a line out towards the body. That's all your red pen done. Put your red pen away, bring your blue pen out. You're going to take it from the body up towards the right atria. But you're actually going to divide this a little bit on the route. So just bear in mind, take it out, take it to the right atria, but then you can also stick in a second line going across. And that's just because we've got 2 types of this particular blood vessel that access into the same chamber. So that one goes through. Once it's hit the collecting chamber, which is the atria, remember it drops down into the ventricle. It has to always go that way. It's like a one-way system. From the right ventricle, it's then going to go all the way up back to the lungs. That is our route, our journey, our flow through the body. And then all we need to do is practice this drawing. So this is the point where you're going to pause the video, you're going to get your pen and paper out, you're going to rewind it, and you're going to go back through and you're going to redraw this at least 3 times. Remember, practice really helps set this inside your brain. So go back, rewind it, literally on different bits of paper, post-it notes, massive bits of paper, I don't mind. Keep it really simple, but I want you to get used to doing that same flow and that same diagram. Now we can add the labelling on top. So we already have the actual labelling of the chambers. So they're there. We know that that's the lungs. There's a word that you need to know, which is pulmonary, and this means lungs. So it relates to something of the lungs. And we have two blood vessels that service this section. We've got a pulmonary vein and we've got a pulmonary artery. Now, that means they're going to occur, one of these is going to be the pulmonary vein, one of them is going to be the pulmonary artery. They service around the lungs. The vein means it's going into the heart. Remember, this is V-E-I-N, so vein, it's on its way in, it's way into the heart. And the artery starts with an A, so it's going away from the heart. So let's write those in. We've got the pulmonary vein going into the heart, so it has to be on that left-hand side. Then we've got the pulmonary artery, which is coming away from the heart. So it has to be this one. Okay, lovely. So now we know the name of those. Then we know that arteries always go away from the body, away from the heart. So the artery is coming away from the heart on this left ventricle. So it's actually going to come out from the aorta and then go down into our arteries. We know that veins go into the heart. So we've got our veins on this side and they're on the way into the heart. The bigger version of the vein is called a vena cava. And that one gets divided into two. So we have both our superior and our inferior vena cava. That then gives you a really nice description of everything that's happening inside of the circulatory system. And you can literally follow this all the way through. The only things that you can then go and add are things like the valves. You can add those on afterwards. But just for now, take your time to learn this in those two sections. First is the drawing. Second is the annotating of that blood flow. And then go back through it yourself. So you go lungs, pulmonary vein, left atria, left ventricle, aorta, arteries, body and brain. Then it goes veins, vena cava, via superior and inferior into right atrium, right ventricle, up to pulmonary artery. And you can literally go all the way back through until you're literally going through each of these flows over and over again. The more that you repeat this, rather than it being word for word and trying to repeat a paragraph or a list of things, relate it to this diagram and practice the diagram. It will really help you remember everything. And those little things like remembering vein is a vein and it's going into the heart. A for arteries, it's going away from the heart. Pulmonary relates to the lungs. You can always work out some of these wordings as you get closer. So if you do have any questions, please do reach out. If you want more information on the heart, write the word heart in the comments below and I will send you a link to our free module whereby you'll learn everything about the heart that you need to for your level 3 anatomy and physiology exam, and that's taken directly from our revision bootcamp. If you would like more information, please do reach out, and remember, if you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you, hit subscribe because that helps us find more people just like you, and it also means you get more videos just like this. So I hope it helped, and I look forward to hearing your responses in the comments soon. Take care.